Medium Mel.
Hi there, Kat. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good considering everything with this virus and stuff, but
I know. It's
oh, I
great.
can't wait for this thing to leave.
Yeah, just go back to normal. Things go back to normal. Well, they never will, but
Yeah, it's going
and
to take a while.
had it.
Exactly. Yeah. There's only been 2 confirmed here where I live. So I'm thankful for that, but I just hope it doesn't get any worse here.
Yeah. It'll make it's changed everyone's. It just had an effect on everyone's.
It sure has. It's really been very amazing, the way the public has handled it, especially the doctors and nurses. But I have to be extra careful because my husband is, he's had a heart attack and he's in renal failure. And so the doctor was like, if he was to pick that up, then, he could be in serious trouble.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
Hello to I don't know. It's hello to Sheila from watching from YouTube.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and we have Melanie. Hello, Melanie. It's Suzanne.
Hi there.
Watching.
How are you guys? Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla. So this is Psychic Medium Mel, Rescue Medium Mel.
That's okay.
Yeah, and you're doing readings tonight. The link's above the video stream. But I'm going to leave you with your show.
Okay, Kat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got the comments pulled up here, guys. I got my laptop here so I can see everyone's comments. So basically, I do a lot of different things, but here on the live, I can do readings for you. It's like you see, you can click on the link. It's $35 for a live mini reading. But while I'm on here, I'm going to talk about some things that I do. But first of all, I want to say I hope everyone's staying safe from the virus. I know that it's been crazy. There's a lot of scared people, including myself. And so I hope you all are staying safe. So, basically, I just want to talk about the things that I do. One of my biggest things I do, a rescue medium. Now, do you guys know what a rescue medium is? If you type in the comments, then I will. Looking here on my iPad so I can see comments. But hey, Ashley, Jamie, Melanie, how are you guys doing? Okay, Carla says she knows what a rescue medium is. Well, I wanted to go in a little bit about what a rescue medium is. And like I said, if you are interested in a private reading, it's $35 for a mini reading. And you just click on the link there. But, oh, Jamie, really, your sister has tested positive. Oh, I'm so sorry. Prayers for your sister. Here where I live, we've had 2 confirmed cases. I just pray that it doesn't get any worse than that. And I've got sage burning. So if you see the smoke, it's sage. So basically, I wanted to come on and just talk about a little bit of what I do. I do card readings. Yes, I do remote viewing. I do healings. I do a little bit of everything. But my biggest thing that I do is rescue mediumship. Oh, good, Jamie. I'm glad she's doing better. I'm really glad she's doing better. It's very scary. There's been so many deaths, everywhere. And, my husband, I have to be very careful because he's had a heart attack and he's got renal failure. And so, he's very susceptible. So I'm having to really be careful. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I do. I'm on a paranormal group. And I'm their medium for the group. And there's these different things that we do. And so a rescue medium is someone that is, sometimes they're on a paranormal team, sometimes they're not. But I am. And what I do is I go in and I see what spirits I see. And I try to deal with those spirits. Now, you know, there's some things being a rescue medium that I want to talk about. And if you have any questions, please just put it in the comment section. And Tom, I see that you have a question. Exactly, Melanie. No one is safe from this. Yes, it's not prejudiced at all, is it? But yes, Tom, I'll answer your question. Hi, Melanie and Ryan. Thanks for joining me. But yeah, so if you have any questions as I'm going along, then I will stop and answer them. I'll check it here on the side. Okay, let's see. Okay, so basically, okay, Carla, I see your comment now. Carla's saying for me to tell you about Willow. So here where I live in Arizona, hi, Maple, how are you? There was a drowning of this little girl, and so, you know, it went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I went down to the area, and I kept telling them that she is in this area, and it was called Orange Peel. But then, you know, there was something about a place, and I kept seeing like the word Indian. And this is what I told them. So they found her, and she was at Indian Point, and that's right out from Orange Peel. So this is the things that I do. Hi, Anne. How are you? Okay, Maple, if you're interested in a reading, you can click there at the top. It's $35 for a mini reading. But I do readings, and among other things. And so, you know, maybe when I go into some of the things I do as a rescue medium, it may answer some of your guys' questions. Ryan, I see where you're asking about your partner passed away on New Year's Eve. You just want to know if she's safe. So let me go into a discussion a little bit about what I do in my paranormal group. And so, but I first want to start out with, you know, when we are born, we all are born with our main guides. And then we have what is called lesson guides, and they help us through our life learning different lessons. Now, you know, I mostly deal with earthbound spirits. And now, what causes an earthbound spirit? There's a lot of different things that could happen that would cause a spirit to become earthbound. I'm just looking here at making sure if anyone's saying anything. Well, thank you, Anne. I really appreciate that. I'm looking down at my iPads because that's where I look at anybody's questions. So anyway, so what makes a spirit become earthbound? Well, it could be the fear of, you know, that they have passed. It could be, you know, they have a lot of anxiety. They're not wanting to realize that they have passed. Grief. So like sometimes they're angered or they're grieving because they have left their loved ones. Sometimes they're upset because they don't understand what's happened. Why did they die? Other reasons, they want to hold on to like where they are, like their home, and they want to hold on to their loved ones. Yes, Melanie, I can pick up on spirits even if they're far away. Like, for example, this one was a difficult one to deal with. I live where I live well, I'll just tell you where I live. I live in Arizona, and I had a spirit to come from England. I've had spirits to come from, you know, here inside the U.S. So yeah, I can do that. You know, I do a lot of connections for people for their loved ones that have passed. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you very, very much. Ashley, she's an outstanding lady. I really appreciate your comment, Ashley. But anyway, and you know, like I said, if you do want a reading, it's $35. You just click on the link, and it's a mini read. So anyway, but a lot of times they want to hold on to their possessions, and so and sometimes they don't realize they've even passed. And those are the hardest ones to deal with, that don't really realize they have passed. So, it's a combination of different things. Now, animals. Now, a lot of people really may not think about animals, but when the animal passes, they too can become earthbound. And a lot of times that's because um, they want to stay with their owner. They sometimes they don't realize they passed, and so because they can still see their owner, so they want to stay right there with the owner. And I've dealt with animals too. I can do connections to animals. Actually, the mini read is where I can pull either cards, or I can try to. Oh, hi, Cat. There's Cat.
Well, our mini reads, we say they're mini, but they never are. Our psychics always give more than what they should.
Exactly.
I don't mind at all. So it's up to you how long they go for. What message you have come through, really. But they're not in depth, but they're not really like we say, because the psychics usually have a bit more to say always. So.
Right. Yeah. The mini reads are, usually 5 minutes or so. And, I will give you everything that I can possibly give you in that 5 minutes.
Yeah. And if you want an in-depth reading, you can get, you got the website.
Right. The website, you can go there and book with me if you want a more in-depth reading.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah, so psychics, do them maybe 8 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. It depends on the psychic and the person and the reading.
right.
Really. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kat. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for coming on. So now to go back into what I was doing. So there's a lot of times where do you find earthbound spirits? Oh my gosh. Okay. So, they're in homes. Also, they are, there's what's called wandering spirits, and they're like in a dreamlike state. They usually don't realize they have passed, but they stay around the area of where they did pass, but they don't understand that they have passed. So, and some, like I said, are attached to the home. Others they're waiting like for a resolution. So say, they were murdered or something to that degree. Then they will stay in the area of where they were murdered until they're helped, so to speak. Also, they can be found in schools, in businesses, grocery stores, playgrounds, church. I went to the local Walmart, and there was a little girl there, and she came home with me. And so, and what it was is she had been in an accident, in a car accident, and she didn't realize that she had passed. She kept asking me, well, why can't my mama see me? And so a lot of times with this rescue mediumship, what I do is I sit down with the spirit and I will explain to them, and I'm always very nice. I try to, calm them down and explain to them to the best of my knowledge what has happened to them. And most of the time they will go through the light. And just like with the little girl that came with me from Walmart, she did go through the light after like 15 minutes. So, and like I said, guys, if you have any questions, please type them in the comments. I've got my iPad up here so I can see the comments. Melanie, yes. Okay, Kat's coming back on. Let's see what she's going to say.
So if you want to read and you can get in on the studio, I can give you a link to be in on the studio. If you don't want to be seen, we can hide you and you can do audio. Or you can do it in the comments, the reading.
So Melanie, did that answer your question?
But do you have to pay to get a reading, or is it whoever you are drawn to?
Oh.
You have to pay. The links above the video stream.
Yes, the link is above the video stream. It is $35. And so, but today, before we end, I will pull a general card for everyone on, and just to see what we get for as a group. So yeah, Melanie, so the link's there. And like I said, a mini reading is $35. So just let, you know, if you're interested, let me know, because we can do that. So anyway, to get back into what I was saying, hi, nice to meet you too, Sandy. How are you? And I'm going with your middle name because, to be honest, I can't say your first name. So, so anyway, so to get back to what I was saying, so, you know, there's a lot of counseling that I do with the earthbound spirits. I will, you know, like I said, I set them down and we have a talk. There's a lot of emotional stuff that we have to go through. Because, like I said, a lot of times they're not aware that they have passed. Now, you know, with suicide. Oh, love and light to you too, Melanie. But with suicide, you know, now this is, you know, a lot of people would think if you commit suicide, then you would probably be more earthbound. That is, it's the opposite. Oh, okay, Sandy, good. That's great to hear. But they're rarely earthbound. Anyone that commits suicide, they're rarely earthbound. And that, you know, a lot of people find strange, but it's because they were not happy on this plane. And so when they commit suicide and they go to the other side, then it's like they're where they're wanting to be. So now there are, being a rescue medium, you have to show no judgment. So say someone come through and they're a spirit and they have murdered someone. Well, you can show no judgment toward that spirit, because if you're showing judgment, then the spirit will be more likely to rebuke you. They will try to fight with you and they won't listen. Whereas if you have no judgment, then they will, you know, listen to you somewhat. I've got sage burning, guys, so just wanted to let you know that. Now, there's what is called harassing spirits. And usually they don't want to cross over. They have become earthbound because they want to stay here to do the things they did when they were alive. So, you know, I'm just going through the different kinds of spirits I have had contact with. Now, what techniques do I use? And like I said, guys, you know, if you are interested in a reading, click on the link. It's $35 for a mini reading. And if you have any questions, please post them. We can talk about anything that I'm discussing, or if you have a question, just put in the, you know, pop it in and I'll answer it for you. So the techniques I used when I'm in with my paranormal group and we're doing things like this. There's a lot of different ways things that I do, because I work directly with the spirits at cemeteries, you know, wherever it is that we are, or if they come to me. But I'm looking at comments. Hold on. So a lot of this I do use remote viewing with. You know, say like I'm here and I have a client come to me and they want me to help to see if there's a spirit or something in their home. I use remote viewing to do that. Unless they want to get so we can see each other, and then I can do it that way too. Now there's something called residual energy, and most places have residual energy. And I have to clear that. Now, the tools that I use, it's really according. Oh, well, thank you, Sandy. Thank you very much. I hope so. I hope people are learning some things. But the tools that I use, oh, really, Sandy? Well, nice to meet you too, hon. So the tools I use to help spirits, you know, and I suggest, you know, if this is other things that I tell people to use to, always smudge your home. As I said, I'm using sage, I use Palo Santos, I use all kinds of different things to clear my home. I also use what is called a crystal grid. Like I should have got that and had that ready, but I take my crystals and I put them in a certain grid form, and that helps the spirits to cross. Also salt. I use that. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of tar water, but I have helped, families to put that around their home to keep the spirits out, especially, if they are darker entities. As I'm doing this, I'm visualizing about pushing the spirit away from the home or wherever it is. But one thing that is very important, when you're done, as what I do is when I'm done with doing all this, I also make sure I cleanse myself, because that is something that is very, very important to keep things at a standstill, so to speak. Now, other things, I'm going to go into a little bit about attachments, because I do deal with attachments. I have seen, playful attachments, so to speak, where they mean no harm. But then I have dealt with the darker entities, the demonic entities. And being a rescue medium, that is a lot of what, these are the things that I deal with. There are things called elementals also. And like I said, guys, if you're interested in a mini read, just click on the link. It's $35. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat box. And we can talk about something else unless, whatever, but just let me know. And just ask me whatever you need to ask, and I'll answer it to the best of my knowledge. So I'll continue unless someone puts in a comment. And I'm looking and watching my comments. So anyway. So attachments. How do you know if someone has an attachment? Well, this is what I've learned. I've done this for like probably 35 years. So these are the things that I have learned. Their behavior will change. They increased anger. Sometimes they'll have an increase about fear about things that they never had fear about before. Also, obsessive behavior. They obsess over things. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Okay. Nick, we usually, when a spirit crosses over in their family, yeah, usually they're guiding you. Let's see. Hi, yes, Andrea, that's true. Hi there. How are you, Davina? So, like I said, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. And if you are interested in a private mini read, just click on the link. It is $35. Ancient self-use use pine needles to smudge with. Yes, Carla. The pine needles are wonderful. Here where I live, we have pine trees. So, I use that also. Oh, well, thank you, Sandy. So anyway, I'll go back into what I was talking about. But signs of attachment, like mood swings, very, where they're 1 minute they're happy, maybe the next minute they're sad or angered, often mood swings, depression, anxiety. So that's the things you can look for if you're looking for an attachment. I'm sure there's a lot more other things, but that's the major things that I have seen. And usually you've got a combination of 4 of those, 3 to 4 of those, if someone does have an attachment. Now, this is a little different, and I had decided, well, should I even talk about this? But I think it's very, very important that I do. So, when I see a spirit, it is usually I see them as they were on Earth. Now, if there is a shadow person, now a shadow person is someone that has never been human. They sliver up and down on your walls or crawl, and they are very dark and black and misty. I have seen those, and but if I see a spirit, and if it's, a spirit that is like demonic or a darker entity. It's sort of like they have an aura, but it's not an aura. And like, so sometimes they can have red like around them, or they could have pink, they could have orange. It's just different colors that comes through along with the entity. And you know, it's really according to the color. And a lot of times the good spirits will have different colors around them, and so that's also an indication to me if they're dark or if they're light. Hi Teresa, how are you? Thank you for joining us. um, so, you know, like I said, if you guys have any questions about this or any questions at all, please put it in the chat. And if you would like a mini reading, it's $35. Just click on the link. So, you know, I just wanted to talk about that. You know, I see different colors also around spirits. Now, one thing that I do use a lot is like crystals. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Thank you for joining us. But crystals I use because crystals can raise your vibration. And some of the main ones, okay, let me see. Have you seen a spirit that presents himself as part man as they were on earth and bottom half? Yes, Sarah, I sure have. Those are, to me, it's part elementals. But yes, I most definitely have dealt with those. It was very, you know, when I see something like that, I try to be like, just like I'm talking to you now. I try not to change my facial expression. I try to stay calm. But yes, I have definitely seen that. Exactly, Sandy. There's not, that's for sure. But yes, Sarah, I have seen that. And, you know, a lot of people's like, what? And, you know, I've seen other things. I've seen these little, how do I explain them? I sort of explain them like they look like an elf, but then they have got like they're dark and they have red eyes. And so I've seen stuff like that. There's just been a lot of stuff that I've seen over the last 35 years I've been doing this. But crystals, you know, crystals is something I usually take with me if I'm going to a home for doing like, if my team's getting together to, you know, do a home, I will take my crystals with me to make a crystal grid in the home because, you know, it increases the vibration. So, you know, like amethyst, quartz, selenite, those are my top ones. So, you know, just remember those things, you know, whenever, if you think tourmaline is a very good one to carry with you or beside of you. That's right, Sandy. There's nothing many about our readings. Isn't that the truth? So, you know, these are just some things that I wanted to discuss. I can tell you, I would like to share a little synopsis of something me and my team were on. And, but before I start that, again, do you have any questions? Please type it in the comment section. And if you would like a mini reading, it's $35, and you just click on the link. But me and my paranormal team, some of my team lives in New Mexico. Some of us live here in Arizona. And my team was on something in New Mexico. So the lead investigator, we Facebooked each other so I could see the area. And he was outside and he goes, okay. He says, I'm just going to walk around. I'll pan it and let you see everything. Tell me if you see anything. So he was going up and he was going towards this barn. And I says, stop, wait a second. And I'm like, there's an elderly man standing there. I said, he's got on like blue overalls. Hold on, let me see. Someone says something. Okay, Sarah, usually it's not your loved one that does that. No. Sarah says, I still don't understand why a past loved one would want to appear half person and half animal. Do you have any idea why they do? But everything when I've seen this kind of thing, Sarah, it's not been your loved one at all. There's some darker entities that can exactly Andrea, that these spirits are not family. Exactly. They can make themselves look like your family member, especially if they're wanting you to see them. But it's not your family. It's not your loved one. Usually these are, like I said, earthbound spirits that every time I've seen something like that, Sarah, it wasn't someone that passed. It was someone that had never been human. They have never lived here on Earth. But they can transform themselves into looking at however they want to look. They can be a form of a shadow person. It can be elementals. And so, these things, they can make themselves look however they want to appear. And so, like, that's why I was telling this story that I'm telling you. But anyway, I was looking and I seen this elderly man. He was in overalls. And I told my lead investigator to stop. I said, there was a man there. And I said, he's elderly. And I said, he's like, okay, can you tell me anything about what's going on? And I'm like, well, I said, there's like 3 other people, like in the background, like behind him. And then all of a sudden, I got this overcoming pain in my back. And I'm like, he was shot. I said, he was shot in the back. And I said, it was a robbery. And at that point, the family was listening. And I had no idea the family was on there listening. And they started crying and screaming. And I was like, yes. And then my lead investigator told me, yes, he was robbed. He had heard noise out at the barn. He went out to the barn. There was people in there stealing. They shot him. And I can't say any more other than that because it's still an open investigation. But that's one of the things that I have seen as far as family related. Now, I went to a local place here, and we were doing an investigation of people had been hearing things and seeing apparitions and that kind of thing. And it was really weird. I walked in, it was like a very big heaviness when I walked in, like I couldn't hardly breathe. Any tips on medication, please? I'm not really understanding, Davina, what you're really asking. Right, Carla. I was getting ready to get into that because a lot of times dark entities, they do look for someone to attach to. And so, they start looking, of who's more vulnerable. I always carry crystals on me because like I said, when I can go to the grocery store and I could pick up something. And so it's a lot of different things that you got to know to do this kind of work, but I love it. I enjoy it. Davina, if you can maybe ask her any tips on medication, please. So I don't really understand that question. But I'll take a minute to say again, if you have any questions or anything, please type it in the comments. And if you would like a private reading, it's a mini reading. Just click on the link. It is $35. So yes, but Carla is exactly right. It could be a dark entity. Well, thank you, Anne. I really appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of people don't know what a rescue medium is. And I've done this most of my life because I've always seen different spirits. I've had them come to me, meditations. Okay, what I do, there's a certain group of meditations I listen to daily. What I found for me is anything that has either running water or like the flute, that is the ones that I use mostly. There's other people that use all kinds of, like the theta beats or binaural beats. It's, but I have found anything with running water or flute music for meditation. That's what I use. And I find it to be really, really relaxing, and it really helps me to deal with a lot of things. But it's not just one thing or this. There's been so many different things I have dealt with. I was a 911 dispatcher, and this was many years ago. Andrea probably remembers. And, there was so many things that you deal with on that basis, too. So okay, Andrea, let me see. So if you don't see these, you don't need a rescue reading. Well, it's not really, okay. They can let you see them if they want to. Most people don't. But a rescue reading, what I do as far as that, is I have helped people just like I'm on here. We get on Skype or we get on Facebook so we can see each other, and the person will walk around their home, and I will see and tell them what I see, and then I tell them what they need to do. So, that's different things that you deal with. But yes, I can do it, like that. I can do it in person, but I've helped a lot of people here, really in a lot of different places. And yes, Melanie, loved ones are always around you when you need them. All you got to do is say their name, and they're right there. So that is very true. You're very welcome, Davina. Sarah, okay, Sarah says she's a retired police officer, so she understands. And, it's just like the story with Willa here where I live. And then, there was different times as a 911 dispatcher that, here where I live now in Arizona, because I was a dispatcher here too, and I was a dispatcher in Tennessee too. But there was this incident here in Arizona where I was working as a 911 dispatcher. And, even the calls, you can tell what's happening. Well, I do anyway. And, but there was this accident, and I had, the deputies en route, and I'm like, it was me and another dispatcher only working. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, there's going to be a lot of deaths in this accident. And, my coworker looked at me and she's like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, I'm telling you, there's going to be at least 5. So they get on scene, and sure enough, there were 5 deaths. And, because I really didn't talk about my gifts, because a lot of times people don't understand, especially if you say you can hear and see spirits. A lot of people don't understand that. But there are some that do, like you guys that's on here. But, it's just one of those things you have to take a feel for. Just like, I worked with Andrea, and, Andrea had no idea till Andrea, a couple of years ago, that I could do this stuff. And so, okay, Melanie says, had so many deaths last few months. Had Mother's Day, felt low. Then on the 25th, Mom's anniversary, felt someone sitting on the end of my bed. Yes, and spirits, especially your loved ones, they do come, especially on all of the major holidays, on birthdays, anniversaries. I just done a connection for this lady that had lost her husband. And I said, and I connected her with her husband, and she was just totally, totally amazed. And so April 1st was their anniversary. And so she set up to do a connection with him on their anniversary. And I tape it, and then I send them the recordings, and so they can have it. But yeah, they definitely are come around, especially at certain times. It's more stronger. I do find that at nighttime is when the spirits are more active, and that's for loved ones too. And it's because of all the electricity we've got turned on. And so, it's really an amazing world. And but sometimes, there for a long time I didn't share. And like I said, Andrea's on here, and she worked with me in Tennessee, and she had no clue. And because I didn't really put myself out there, I didn't want, I don't know how to say it, but I didn't want to let people start bashing me, so to speak. Oh, Melanie, I'm so sorry. I know that's got to be rough on you, but just know, hun, that they are with you. They are, and you just have to call upon them anytime you're just needing to talk or whatever, because they are there and they do hear you. Right, Teresa. Yes. So, I just wanted to touch a little bit about what I do, the work I do. Like I said, I do healings too, and I do card readings, and, I do a little bit of everything. But my main thing is, spirit connections and rescue mediumship, because what I have found that a lot of people, they don't understand what a rescue medium is. What do they do? But I really, I've had the hard times doing this mediumship, but, especially when you get the darker entities or the demonic entities. My lead investigator, he got possessed at one of the things, one of the where we went. But, that can happen. But if you take the proper steps that you're supposed to, then it's less likely. But like, I always said, never say never, because it can happen. And so, guys, if you have any questions, please type that in. And again, if you are interested in a live, a mini reading, it's $35. Just click on the link. But it's to me, it's my life, and I love helping the ones that have passed. A lot of times, I have found that, well, one that I done here locally was really amazing. Because I am Native American. Okay, I was on the site before, told me I needed healing, but felt like the deaths recently was. Oh, really? What do you mean was your fault, Melanie? On the site before, told me I needed healing. No, Melanie. Deaths. We all hate to lose our loved ones, but we can never blame ourselves. Even though sometimes we do feel like it is, maybe we should have done this or maybe we should have done that. But you have to realize that it's not your fault. And usually when, I do suggest to people, if they've had like several deaths within a year's time, I would suggest a clearing, a cleansing. So, I do suggest that. It's just to get rid of some of the residual energy. But, but never blame yourself. Okay, Angelina. Hello. Something strange happened last night. I couldn't breathe properly. Woke up and my coat flew off the end of the bed into the floor. So weird. Took my was okay. Angelina, first thing, as you know, I'm on a paranormal team. So one of my first questions is, do you know anything about the residents? Do you know anything about the land? How long have you lived there? Do you know if there's been any deaths in the home? That's some of the things. So if you could answer any of those, Angelina, I can, give you some things that you could do. Thank you very much, Carla. I really appreciate that. But here locally, I done a clearing. This lady was having just not feeling right, she said, like a heaviness. So I went to her home, and what was happening was where her house sat, it was a Native American burial site. The house was not on the burial grounds. It was on, the burial grounds was a little bit away from the home, and that was what was causing all of the occurrences that was happening. So what we done is we done an offering to the Native Americans that were there. And how do you do an offering? What we offered is I brought a crystal and I offered that as a peace between them. Well, thank you, Sandy. I really appreciate that. But we offered this, offering. And so now I checked back with her, and she said that the activity has really went down. And so now, the natives are still there, and they're not going to leave because it's sacred burial grounds. But they're not bothering the living. So, that's a very big plus. So, again, if you're interested in a paid reading, it's $35. Just click the link. It's a mini reading. Let's see. These flats are built on an old churchyard. I'm over 200 miles away from home, so just staying here, but only went to the hospital this weekend. Okay, now, you know, that's one of the places that usually spirits are, and they're connected some way to the church that used to be there. Basically, Angelina, what I would suggest is to burn some sage, get some Palo Santos, and, you know, there's sticks. It's like this. And, you know, sage the area. You sprinkle out some salt, especially at any door openings. And, you know, just be nice, but ask the spirit, whoever's there, to please leave. Now, if it's, you know, just a spirit that is attached to the place, they may or may not leave. I have seen a lot of times where they would not leave, especially if they were attached to the home. Now, Angelina, do you know if you're close to a cemetery or anything like that? Because that would have an influence too. But I am going to do a card reading here before we get off. We have like 10 or 15 more minutes left. So, you know, I would like to take the time to, you know, either I can tell you some more experiences, the other things I've dealt with, or if you have any questions at all, please just type it in and I will try my best to answer it. If you want a private reading, it's a mini read and they're $35. You just click on the link. Yes, salt the windows. That is very true, Carla. Okay, Angelina, so you wasn't scared. Whoever it was helped you to breathe. Well, then that was probably someone of your family, more than likely, Angelina. So I'm going to go ahead, though, and I'm going to pull the card for the whole group. And let's see. And what I'm using, guys, the deck I'm using. Right. I'm using the, well, let me get this over here. My Mystical Shaman Oracle. These are my favorite. This is my favorite deck. I have over 100 decks. So, but these are my favorite ones. So let's see what we get for the whole group. Okay. Well, look at that. There's two that fell. Hold on, guys. Because this means these two are for us. Okay. So. Oh, mercy. Oh, my whole deck's falling. Okay. So the two. Here's the two that fell. So I'm going to do both cards for the group. Okay. Yes, it does. Grew up living behind him. Oh, really, Teresa? Wow. Yeah, because if there's a graveyard close, and when I say close, I'm going to say 1 to 2 miles, then usually there is the passing of the spirits coming through different homes. So that is, you know, something that really would need to be looked at. And, you know, because a lot of times if there's a cemetery close, 1 to 2 miles within the home where you live, then it's very likely that there are spirits gathering or coming through your home. Yes, I meant to create a deck. Oh, did you really, Sandy? I love this deck. I absolutely love this deck. I mean, it resonates with me so much. But anyway, the two cards I pulled was Earth and the Witness. So, and it's weird because this really ties into what we've been doing tonight. Earth, first of all, is about what's happening to the earth, what's happening to us right now. This is saying, you know, we each play a part in our own destiny. But if you look at the card and you look at the eyes, there's sadness. So right now is a very sad time because of what's happening. But it is going to get better. It's definitely going to get better. It's going to take some time, but it is going to get better. But this is just letting us all know we are connected to the earth, Mother Earth. And we are the ones that's going to have to take the stand and to make Earth a better place. And so I think this is sort of like a wake-up call for all of us here on Earth about what's happening to the Earth. And The other thing I see in this card, because see, I'll look at the card, I'll look at the picture and tell you what I get. The other thing I see with the card is determination. So I feel that the group that's here tonight, they are very determined souls, and we are here for the same purpose. And so that's going to lead us all as a collective. Right, Teresa, probably so. Yes, ma'am. And the witness card. Now, the witness card, I do feel that this is particularly, this was the group card because this card fell out with it, but this card is for particularly one person that's in the group. So I'm going to tell you what I get. Let me know if this resonates with anyone. But there's something about someone, and as you say, it says the witness, but it's like someone witnessed something that happened, and it still like torments them today. They're having some flashbacks. They're having vivid dreams. Now, this could be, something that they really didn't witness. It could be where they're living. It could be either, a spirit there in the home that is causing you to see something. But it's like in a dream, very vivid. So if anyone is having dreams, that are very vivid dreams of something, please let me know, because this is an indication that you also have some gifts, and that's why you're seeing the things that you're seeing. Oh, Ashley, thank you. So does that resonate with anybody at all? Because this has a big connection to, like I said, vivid dreams, holding on to something. Um, and there's something about this person. They had someone within the last 1 to 2 years. I feel more recent though, that had someone, an elderly man, to pass. So I don't know if that resonates with anyone, but it's for someone here that's in the chat room. Okay, Sandy. Okay, Sandy, then I bet this is for you. And it's just a validation to you that, your loved one is letting you know they're there. And a lot of times loved ones do that. They do come in your dreams, that they're very vivid. It's like, you wake up and you're just shocked because you realize, oh, that was just a dream. So this is your message for you, Sandy, because they're letting you know they're there. They're trying to show you in the dreams. So anyway, I really appreciate all you guys coming on tonight. And I hope that you really enjoyed what I talked about tonight. Like I said, this is my passion. I love being on the paranormal team. I love, I've even got a little camera, and I'm going to start going out different places when this is all over with the virus. And this is my sage burning, and I'm going to start videotaping. And I've got my, I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook. And of course, I would put it on here with Kat, of course. And I'm going to be going different places, and I'm going to be videotaping so everyone can hear and see what I'm doing and see the spirits I come into, what I come in contact with, and that kind of thing. Angelina, I hope this virus makes people kinder and left people more knowing we can't visit anyone, making more people realize now what we have. Exactly, Angelina. That is very, very true. I mean, the world had become so, I guess, negative. And, it should be about us caring and trying to help each other out. Oh, thank you, Carla. I love you guys very much. And many blessings to you too. Oh, well, thank you, Sandy. Yeah, I'd love to come on, and I mean, we can just come on and chit chat if nothing else, and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Questions, if you guys would like to do another show, and we can ask questions about anything we've done tonight. I can, go into other things. It's whatever you guys would like. What did you enjoy the most tonight? I'm just waiting to see. But it was really fun tonight, and I'm going to do this more often on here. I always burn my sage and my Palo Santos because, you know, that keeps the spirits at bay while I'm on here doing this. Oh, really, Sandy? Oh, wow. Teresa, your husband. Wow. Oh, all of it. Okay, Sandy. Well, that's nice to hear. But, you know, I would love to come on every time and talk about this. I mean, I could talk some about this and then talk about other things. We could talk about what your guys are doing, you know, whatever and whatever. But yes, it was really fun tonight. I hope you guys learned a lot about what I do. But I went through a lot, and some of the things I didn't cover. And because there's a whole lot of rescue mediumship that I could go into. So maybe next time I'll go a little bit deeper into some more of the rescue mediumship and what I do. Because, you know, there's cords that we have connected to us. Yes, Carla, it does. My stories, everything I've experienced, that's my experience sort of goes with, you know, the technical part of it too. But like, you know, there's two cords that we have. And oh, really, Teresa? Well, happy anniversary, hon. You stay safe too, Angelina. And thank you for coming on. But like I said, you know, we have two cords. There's a gold cord and a silver cord. The gold cord is our connection to the divine, the creator, to God, however you view it. But the silver cord is more connected to the physical us. And when it gets weakened, it can get weakened by medical problems or emotional trauma. And so this cord, you know, when we pass, the cord breaks. The gold cord never breaks. But the silver cord does break upon our death. So if you're able to, will you tell me if it's going to here? Well, you know, these, like I said, if you are interested in a reading, a mini reading, it's $35. Just click on the link. But I've really enjoyed being on here tonight. I hope to be on here again soon and to talk to you guys. And, you know, like I said, I can go more in depth of these things or other things. But there's a lot to rescue mediumship, a lot. So, you know,
I don't know how to respond.
Oh, listen to this. Do you guys hear that? That's my phone, guys. Oh my gosh. It has to be a spirit in the room because I just heard my phone. Oh my gosh. So that's amazing. But I really enjoyed it tonight. And again, I hope to see you guys real soon.
Thank you for this.
We had a fun time tonight.
Yeah, so. And thank you everyone for watching.
Yes, I really appreciate all you guys, and I will see you again very soon.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you all soon.